But the words are. You're gonna tell us who the characters are in the movie, but I also feel like the words are so intellectual, but still very raw and honest. You know, it's not pretentious in that, but it's smart, and I feel like then you can just bombard at least me with words, so that's fine.
But it's just because in life we do that. See what we're interacting right now, like we do. We use so much words. And of course cinema is not made by words, like historically there's something about cinema that more about images than very dialogues, like it's more like we say it like it's more for TV or for stage play or whatever, but for me words is also action, and it's also because probably I'm an actor too, so I always start my writing is all about actors and something that they can be related to, and words are the thing that actors need to create their characters. So yeah, that's why.
Do you think that comes from beginning as an actress and then continue
sure.
on as a writer and a director?
Sure. For me, like the action and even like the transformation in the drama line of my screenplay is always around dialogues. Like dialogues, like manage the scene, and it can be a change for the next scene. Like what's going on in the words, not even like in the images.
So tell us a little bit about the characters that we see in the film.
It's the family. So I don't know. Like the story is like her story is Sophia. She's a like mid-30s something, and she just finished her master in political philosophy on Gramsci, which is like a philosopher, Italian philosopher. And so she's in front of nothing because she has no job and stuff, and she lives in her other brother's place, Karim, that we see also in this extract. And they have a fusional relationship, and this relationship is compromised. When the brother falls in love with someone else. I mean, someone, because he's not in love with his sister, which would be very weird. Anyway, so we see the parents too in this extract. They're part of the story. So anyway, yeah.
They have a very special relationship, Sophia and Karim.
Yeah, they have a fusional relationship.
Yeah, they're really close. And you have a brother as well, right?
That's always a question.
No. You don't?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
for sure. Yes, I have a brother, and we have like 3 years of difference. He's 3 years older than me. And we used to have this kind of fusional relationship, but when we were more like in our 20s. And so I always base my script on, so it's not an autobiography, but it's something that I felt. Like I always like write about my like feelings, like something that it happened, but it's like after that, like it's not my story, and it's not like. So yeah, at one point, like I remember that like my brother, like we were super, like we were together all the time, and then like he fell in love with someone, and I just felt that at this moment, like I saw him actually act like he was acting with me. Like in this kind of like, you know, when you have a fusional relationship, it can be like brother and sister, it can be friends, but I saw like some behavior that belongs to our relationship, and I was like, okay, maybe like I need to get out and make a step back to become myself an adult, be able to get serious relationship, and let him like grow in this relationship. And it was the idea, the base of the idea of my story was about that, is the fact that, I mean, I know very well this relationship, and it looked like a love relationship, except the fact that you don't have any intercourse or physical relationship with your brother or your sister, of course. And so I was thinking, oh, maybe it's interesting to talk about this relationship and to see how much it looks like. I mean, it's a film about how you learn to love, and how love in your family, because it's also a tribute to family, how love in your family can make you pass passed through a very rough time. So yeah.
Because there are some other interesting love stories, not only, as you say, between two people that are in love, but there are also different kind of love stories in this, not only between Karim and with Sofia.
Yeah.
But so the idea from the beginning was not you and your brother, but to do a story about a brother and a sister.
Yeah, actually, because there wasn't no film about that. There's Love Stream from Cassavetti, his last movie. It's actually a beautiful film about this kind of relationship. But most of the time, when we talk about this kind of relationship in film, we put it in the incest world. Like there's so much film, like The Dreamers, for example, from Bertolucci, Marguerite and Julien from Valérie Donzelli. There's a lot of example of that, and I was like, it's not accurate. Like, I mean, it's okay to make movie about incest and brother and sister, but it's the thing that's not interesting. I mean, because the moment you put incest, it's a false relationship between brother and sister. It's just like a fake film about brother and sister, but it's talk about a love relationship. And the specific thing about, of course, as I said, for brother and sister, and I'm going to tell it again, you don't have to get intercourse with your brother. No, but anyway, so it was interesting to get this feeling of love relationship, but like without this.
Yeah, I was.
I did An Extraordinary Person. I was like, I'm 37 now. That's because I look young.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
We're talking about the Swedish weather making us young, but I mean the Canadian weather as well.
Yeah, that's true. It's very good for the skin. Obviously.
So the process.
It's like we're flirting.
Yeah. No. They know. But the process.
What should I know?
From starting to work with A Brother's Love.
Can we go? Like,
Yeah. Maybe we should do a clip. No, but I want to hear about the process first.
Anyway, I did An Extraordinary Person. I wrote it like in 2 weeks, and anyway, I think I was 31 when we released the film, and then I was already starting to write Brother's Love. It took me 3.5 years or so, but I was like working also as an actor, so I was leaving my script sometimes for 6 months on the side, and going back to the script after, and going playing on other movies and stuff. And so and after we financed it, and I shot it a 1.5 years ago, 2017-8. So it took a few times, like 4 years.
I'm not a filmmaker, but I can imagine that a film that has this much dialogue that this film has, it has to be a lot of turns for the script. And it may be good also to leave it for a little time and come back to it and see, does it fit, does that fit with that part, and so on. So I think.
But my problem is not. Too close. My problem is not so much about dialogues. I had more problem with structure. I wasn't that good with structure. I didn't make a skeleton before I wrote, so it lost me a lot in my writing. And I did it for my next movie, and like it took me like 6 months to write it. And so I realized that it's good to make a structure before you dive in the screenplay. So, but yeah, of course, dialogues. Like I always pass on dialogues. Like I always come back to dialogues. Like I'm crazy about that. Like I'm very precise, and I want it very well done. And for actor too, like I want them to be very happy to play that.
Yeah, that's a good thing I think about being an actress.
But I want to make them happy as I would be happy to be on set with something. It's my biggest concern.
Since the dinner table scene is so good and vivid, how much time do you use for rehearsals, and do you use 2 cameras, 3 cameras, or what?
Rehearsal is very important. Like I always rehearse all my scene with my actors, and I try, and I had a good chance with this film. I try to put them also in the environment. Like, we rehearsed before all the set was done, but we rehearsed in the room, in the dining room. We rehearsed also. There's an apartment. Karim lives in an apartment and the character lives in the apartment for 10 years. So he had to know, like, the problem when you're an actor, like you read the script, you have an idea of what's the set's gonna be, but you never saw it. You arrive in the morning and you're like, okay, this is my apartment, I'm supposed to live here for like 10 years, but you have no idea, no clue of like the feeling of the environment, which has helped a lot to put them before, like 2 weeks before, in the apartment, so my actor knows like where is it, he can, like, and we actually did really the how you say, the mise en scène during the rehearsal. So it helped me a lot for shooting. It gives much more time for better thing than just trying to find the tone of the scene. So yeah, I rehearsed a lot. For this, yeah, I had 2 cameras. It took me a day. There's 2 dinner at the family place, and it took me a day for every dinner. Yeah, and 2 cameras. And I worked with film too. It was a Super 16 millimeter, so you have to know what you do.
And if you think that this dinner scene was a lot,
Complex.
then you should see the other dinner scene.
Yeah. Yes.